Well, hello everyone. I'm glad you could come again to our Friday Smartie time. Do you remember last week that I was telling you about something I found in one of my cupboards when I was cleaning it out? And I asked if you'd found anything, if you'd been helping Mummy to clean cupboards out or clean your toy box. Well, do you want to know what I found? Here it is. Oh, a little face looking at us. I found another little sheep. So I've got 3 now. Well, do you think he's cute? I think he's got a lovely face. He's lovely. Well, because I've found him, I think he's got to stay with me this morning and he's got to do our song when we hold hands. So can you get somebody's hand to hold? And we'll start our singing off. Are we ready? Hold your partner by the hand now, let's swing hands to and fro. Hold them high up in the air now, then hold them down low. Let's swing them once again, then let each other's hands go. Now let's look at those around us and shout out, hello, hello, hello. Let's shout out, hello. Well done. While we're all getting ready and getting our voices better, let's sing again. Are we ready? Hold your partner by the hand now, let's swing hands to and fro. Hold them high up in the air now, then hold them down low. Let's swing them once again, then let each other's hands go. Now let's look at those around us and shout out, hello, hello, hello. Let's shout out, hello. Well done, that was good. Now, over the last few weeks, you've been hearing about people who God rescued. Now, I think it was Gemma who told us about Noah. And God rescued Noah and his family in that big boat from the flood. And then we had Annie, and she told us about Moses, who was a little baby. And he was put in a basket amongst the reeds on the river. And God rescued him from the wicked king. And last week, can you remember last week? It was Bev. And what did she tell us about? She told us how God rescued Daniel from those hungry lions in the lion's den. So today we're going to learn about a young boy that God rescued. And his name was David. And David was a young boy and he was a shepherd boy. He had lots of big brothers, but he was the youngest. And so he had to look after his father's sheep every day. He had to take them into the hillside near where he lived. He had to find good pasture so the grass was plentiful for the sheep to eat and nice clean water. And he had to do that every day. And when he got there, he was a bit tired, so he used to sit on a rock and then he would look after the sheep. He would watch to make sure none was straying away, and he would listen out in case any wild animals came. And when you sat there one day, he heard a noise. I think I did. And he listened. Yes, he did. He heard a roar. Can you all roar? Roar! Roar! And what do you think came along? It was a big, fierce lion. And that would get David and the sheep because it was a big, strong lion. What do you think David's going to do? I think we ought to tell David to run. David, run! Let's tell him to run. Run, David, run! The lion's coming. You won't be able to save yourself or the sheep. Run, run! Now then, Joshua, do you think David ran away and left the sheep? No, of course he didn't. David was a good shepherd boy, and he looked after his sheep, and he was very good with a sling. And David would get a smooth stone and put it into his sling, and can you do it with me? He'd whirl it round and round and round and round, and it went so fast that it would hit the lion on the head and he would kill it. And then David and the sheep were all safe. Well, you can imagine when he got home that night and he put the sheep in the pen, made sure they were safe, and he would tell his brothers and his father all that had happened that day, and that he'd saved himself and the sheep from the lion. He'd learnt to use his sling very, very well. But he couldn't be scared and not go out again. He had to take the sheep every day. That was his job. So the next day, off he goes again, and he goes up. This time, he went further away from his home because he had to find some new pasture and a nice fresh stream where it was clean water. But the further away that he got from home, it could be more dangerous. So he had to really look out. And when he sat on the rock, he was watching and he was listening. And you know, he loved his sheep and the sheep loved him. He was a good shepherd boy. And David also loved God, and he knew that God would always help him. Well, he's sitting there, he's had his lunch, and he hears another sound different to the sound that lion made. This time it was a growl. Growl, can you growl with me? Growl. Well, what do you think it is this time? Can you guess? It's a big brown bear. Oh, he looks fierce, doesn't he? Oh, he's too big for David to fight this time. What shall we tell David to do? Shall we tell him to run? Come on, run, David, run, run. This bear is too fierce and too big for you. Run, run, run. Run away from the bear. Well, Ada, do you think that David ran away from the bear and left his sheep? Do you think he did that? No, of course he didn't. David would come again with his sling. He'd put his stone in. He'd whirl it round and round and round and round. Off it went through the air. And David was able to kill that bear. So David wasn't harmed, and neither was his sheep. So God had rescued David. And through rescuing David, he'd saved all his sheep as well. And you know, one day, God had something very special for David to do. He had an amazing plan for David. One day, David wasn't going to look after sheep anymore. He was going to look after people, God's people, and lead them where they should go and do what they should do, what God wanted them to do. So that was an amazing plan God had for this little shepherd boy, that one day he would be king over God's people. So God rescued him. So I think we've got to sing the same song that Bev did with you last week, which is Our God is a Great Big God, because it says how wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan, just as David was. Are we ready? Okay. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. He's higher than a skyscraper and is deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond our wildest dreams. And he's known me and he's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. That was good. Now, because we've been talking about a shepherd boy who looked after sheep, I thought we'd sing a song that had sheep and lambs in. So, you remember what you sang last week about 5 little ducks. You'll know the tune, but I've put some different words to it. So, I'm going to get my sheep and we're going to sing the same tune as the 5 little ducks, but this time we're going to sing 5 little lambs. Now, it's quite hard because we know the duck song. Every time I did it, I got it wrong. I was doing quack instead of bar, and I was saying ducks instead of lambs. But let's see if we can do it all the way through. Are you ready? 5 little lambs went off to play over the fields and far away. Mummy sheep said, now you come back. But only 4 little lambs came back. Baa! 4 little lambs went off to play over the fields and far away. Mummy sheep said, now you come back. But only 4 little lambs came back. Baa! 4 little lambs went off to play over the fields and far away. Mummy sheep said, now you come back. But only 3 little lambs came back. Baa! 3 little lambs went off to play over the fields and far away. Mummy sheep said, now you come back. But only 2 little lambs came back. Baa! 2 little lambs went off to play over the field and far away. Mummy sheep said, now you come back. But only 1 little lamb came back. Baa! 1 little lamb went off to play over the fields and far away. Mummy sheep said, now you come back. And 5 little lambs came skipping back. Baa! Baa! Well, did you get that right? Did you say lambs all the way through and baa instead of quack? I hope you did. Right, now for our craft today, because it's all been to do with sheep and lambs, you could make a nice sheep. That's easy to do. And do you remember when I showed you how to draw the fish? Well, this is very easy to draw a sheep. So, if you get some paper and you get a pen, and then all you have to do first of all is do that. That looks a bit like a cloud, doesn't it? But it's not. And then you do that. Can you see? As if you're going to do a circle. Then you've got to put some ears on. So we'll do some ears like that. Is that looking a bit more like a sheep? Yeah. And then you want some eyes. 2 eyes. And let's do it, those there. You've got 2 eyes. Yeah. And then you just do a little line there and a little curl. A little line there and a little curl. And you've got your sheep. And all you have to do is put a stick at the back and stick it onto the sheep's head, and you've got the sheep. You little ones should be able to do that very easily. Now, can you see his eyes? This is a little tip. if you do eyes and you do that in a different way, it looks as if the sheep's looking a different way. So you can put the eyes exactly where you want them. Yeah? Now, if you want to do something a little bit harder, then what you can do is draw that sheep, but do them small like that. Can you see? I've drawn lots of them. So you just do them small and then get somebody to help you cut them out. And don't forget, put the eyes different ways. So they're looking to the right or to the left or looking down or looking straight up, and it makes it fun. So draw lots of little, they can be lambs, draw lots of little lambs. And when you've done that, get some ribbon and glue them on to the ribbon. And when you've put them all on, let it dry. Then you can turn it over and you can put them on the other side. Then whichever way you turn, you've got the little lambs. Now that can be a mobile again, or it can be something that you pin on the wall, like a little picture. So they're quite easy to do, but you'll need some help probably for cutting out from your older brothers and sisters or from mummy or daddy. So there's only one more song to sing. Do you remember what it is? Cameron, do you know? You used to sing it well. Are we ready? It's Three Little Monkeys. Are we ready? I'm going to have my little lamb with me. So, are we ready? 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mummy called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 2 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mummy called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 little monkey jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mummy called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Well done. Well, that's come to the end of another Smartie time, because you know what it is now, don't you, Joshua? It's snack time. But I just thought of something the other day. Do you know when we sat around for snack time, we also said, has anybody had a birthday? And we've been forgetting to do that. Now, if we've missed your birthday over these last few weeks, will you get Mummy to ring in and tell us so that we can wish you a happy birthday? And I will try and find out when I look in the big pink folder the dates of any birthdays that are coming up, so we can sing happy birthday to you before we finish. Do you think you can do that? Well, it's been lovely having you all with us, so I'm going to say bye for now and take care, have a good week, and we'll see you next Friday. Okay?